call of the second half. Brandon.
This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And to give this time to the tailback. Spins past another.
Oh, my man.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on third down.
5 defensive backs. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And there they bring pressure from the inside and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
The Colts send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. This is fielded at the 27. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Now the Colts defensive unit trots back out there. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll find his man on the comeback route, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. And a nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection or if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do, and if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And the Colts getting ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. We get a glance at the Colts defense as they work their way back on the field. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field. I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Maybe you didn't like it when you heard those words.
It depended on when they were yelling them. But in this situation, absolutely perfect. Get off the field, force a punt, let the offense take over and do their thing, and it resulted in a field goal.
Now we'll see if they can do that again.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And on 3rd down, the Colts have added an extra defensive back.
Flooding the passing lanes.
He'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a handoff here to his running back. Oh, the spin. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. 3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win, and the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
Here's the Panthers defense as they get set to go again. They're trailing on the scoreboard. Now, they had to watch that last drive, then they come out here. Defensively, when you played, did you like being out there defensively to start the second half or wait to drive?
I wanted to be out there right away. Come out of the locker room, get right back into the flow of the game, because sometimes when you sat around, you liked it when your offense gave you a long drive, but it made it a little bit tougher to get out on the field.
Well, it's the second drive here. We'll see how they respond. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And they'll run it here. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
All right, now I've got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
What are you saying? I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely. Still got a lot of life left in those legs.
We got three, fellas. Here we go now.
And they give this time to the tailback. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
How about the defense not hanging their heads from the previous play where they were beat for a big run, came back on the very next down, and made a play defensively that was to their credit.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. He'll look look to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the fourth. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
They only needed a yard, instead went backwards. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep him within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Back to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. So deja vu all over again. Another good week. And sometimes maybe, because the defense doesn't look that bad, maybe this is just good offense beating good defense in his case.
I like that because we always want to point out that there's a breakdown or someone made a mistake or there was an error. Sometimes it's exactly as you described it. Sometimes they just...
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best.
Exactly.
Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They come up in an offset eye. A handoff, as they run the counter play. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try to bleed it out.
Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The Colts send out their punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football.
Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. And they will wind up with the football and the possession. But we say it all the time, offense, defense, don't forget about special teams. Big punt block there.
And how many coaches have told us if we make a big play on special teams, if we find a way to score, whether it was on the play or later, 90+% of the time, we win the game.
Just don't hold them to those numbers.
No, we haven't quantified it yet, but they believe it, and we have seen it happen many, many times in just that manner. But that kind of run on 1st down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Offense faces a 3rd and medium with 6 yards left.
Let's go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Panthers defense, they make their way back out there now. They were able to force that 3 and out. That led to a touchdown. And defenses obviously love 3 and outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short and not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field that fast. But it set up their own offense, gave them a little spark, and they took it downfield and scored.
Now the question, can they do it again? Let's see. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
They'll look to throw here. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And this is going to be incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Now onto the field, here come the Panthers. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And with this guy, I don't know that you're surprised when he has back-to-back games like this. He just keeps excelling.
What I like about him is that every year he doesn't settle for being one of the best in the game. He tries to make himself better. Almost like those great basketball players. I remember hearing about Kobe Bryant wanting to add something to his game every offseason. Magic Johnson, what do I need to work on to get better? Michael Jordan had that fadeaway before his career was over. Those are the best. Even though they're at the top of their game, they find ways to get better.
Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
Good call.
And he's brought down. A nice little juke move that preceded it, but not much thereafter.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Tie game here. Time starting to run down. The defense really needs to try and keep this game tied, see if they can get the ball back for the offense. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. And at this stage in the game, Every play is magnified here as we get down to the nitty-gritty. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Deep drop. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one goes for 24 yards. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things you...
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. 5 yards to go for the offense. 1st down and goal from that. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Switch it up here and look to throw. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Their big tight end. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Colts have broken our tie as they take the lead.
And there's the go-ahead touchdown. And so likely we'll kick an extra point. But to me, I'm looking forward. Special teams now with your kickoff. And then your defense, that's where the pressure shifts.
Yeah, because there's plenty of time left on that clock. Anytime you're over a minute in the NFL, there's a chance. Extra point attempt to follow here. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation. Late games.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And with the clock ticking under 50 seconds now, he spikes it. A long way to go for the offense here on 3rd down. He's back to throw. Finding time. He's going to let it fly. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
And And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go. Green,
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear the Colts are going to win the football game. So they had to take the shot there. Obviously, that was pretty much it, their last chance.
No other play for them, right? I mean, there's no other choice. It's not like you can have some strategy move, right? Punt it away and hope it. No, that's what they had to do. Right now, that offensive unit, they're pretty discouraged on the sidelines. They're going to feel like they let the team down in that situation, but they were in a tough spot to begin with.
And with no timeouts now, they just need a miracle.
Yeah, an absolute miracle. If the team that has the ball, just find a way to run out the clock, take care of the ball, and go home a winner.
Here we go. 3, 9, 10.
One final kneel down here as it comes inside the 40-second mark, and that should be enough to put this one on ice. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Colts, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indianapolis.